Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ralph Peterson Radio Show. We're almost live. Hold on. Well, the weather outside is weather. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Busy, busy day. Busy broadcast day is what today is. Big stories, big news. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ralph Peterson Radio Show. I am your host, Ralph Peterson, and I could not be happier to be spending the beginning of the greatest week in the history of all great weeks. Can we agree that this week, December 22nd, is today's 22nd? It is. December 22nd, this week is the greatest week of the whole year. Christmas week could not come at a better time, right at the time when we need a little bit of Christmas magic. Here it is, Christmas week 2020. It's almost over, folks. We're going to get to 2021 real quick. I'm very excited to be getting into 2021. I got to tell you, I have a lot of big plans for 2021, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk all about what we're doing next year, how I'm looking at next year, how I'm forecasting, all the things that I'm doing, and maybe getting into a little bit of what's going on in your world as well. But before we get started, let's go to the big news of the day, and that is that we are being brought to you by IBGR Radio, the International Business Growth Radio. If you go to ibgr.network, you will find everything you need. If you're a starting entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur who's been in business for a long time, whether you're a seasoned vet or brand new starting out, I'm telling you, you want to be part of this group. You want to be part of the IBGR network. Go to ibgr.network. You can become part of our family here. We are all growing, welcoming, open arms, and we are for business owners, by business owners type of radio. Every week we come here and we help you get better. We try to figure out best strategies, best tactics to do everything from sales and marketing to operations to effectively managing teams and people and individuals. We do it all right here at ibgr.network. Pardon me and my little tongue slip here. You'd think I wouldn't have had 50 years, almost 50 years with this tongue in my mouth. Sometimes when you hear me talk, you're like, boy, it seems like you just got that tongue yesterday. No, I've had it for the whole time. Anyway, if you want to be part of this program today, you can go to ibgr.network. At the bottom left-hand or right-hand corner, there is a question mark, a flashing yellow question mark, and you can click on that question mark and you can engage with me. You can leave comments, ask questions, anything you'd like right there. Also, we are streaming live right now. If you're watching live, hello out there in social media land. We are streaming live on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And we're streaming live both on my own personal Ralph Peterson Radio Show social network channels. Also, we are live on the IBGR network channels, which has a much bigger following than I do. So hello out there in IBGR world. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be a lot of fun today. Like I said, this is my favorite time of the year. And I don't know, even though we have the coronavirus, even though we have the lockdown, even though we've had schools closing and round 2 and round 3, I don't know what round we're on with the coronavirus, and the vaccine is out and there may be some good news on the horizon, maybe not. There's TGI Fridays just came out with let me say this so you hear it correctly. TGI Fridays have come out with a Cluck It, that's right, with a C, Cluck It bucket to meet fans. A lot of fans are feeling about 2020, so they've decided come on. I love business. I love business operations, and I love catchy marketing. I love it when people just the Cluck It bucket gets me. I have to call my wife. Will you bring home a big old bucket of Cluck It bucket from TGI Fridays? Sounds fun. It's a bucket full of chicken. If you weren't hip on what it means to have a Cluck It bucket, it's just a big bucket full of chicken wings. I think that's pretty fantastic. I hope you are in the holiday mood. I hope this year is not getting you down. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what to say about this year regarding the holidays, because there are some stories out there that, I got a story right here. There are some stories out there that make me just kind of, I don't know if I want to embrace humanity, like this is just so great. It's so great to see what's going on out there. Or if I want to shake humanity by the shoulders and go, what are you doing? But here's the big story. COVID, they're calling it a COVID guilt gifting spurs toy boom. That's right. People are out there. People are out there and they are buying gifts at a rate that nobody's ever purchased gifts before in the past. And they are all just going hog wild for all the latest and greatest gadgets for everybody. This whole story is about how revenues have grown by 19% from 2018, 2019 to 2020, although 2020 started off sluggish. Man, are we making up for it? Everybody and their mother is going out and buying presents. This whole idea of guilt gifting. I don't even know what to say about guilt gifting. I think I've been guilt gifting my entire life. Guilt giving. Let me say something about gift giving, because I know that a lot of people out there have a lot of problems with gift giving, and especially when you're buying something, you're not so sure if somebody's going to like it. You're not so sure if it's going to be something that they wanted. Kids nowadays can be a nightmare to buy for. And by nowadays, I mean, listen, kids, when I was young, I was a nightmare to buy for. It's always a challenge to try to find something that you think that your child is going to like. And I know what I'm about to say is probably a little bit not going to be received as well as I intend it to, but the gift givee, the person receiving the gift, in my opinion, is not as important or significant as the gift giver. I love buying gifts for people. And when I love buying gifts for people, when I see something for somebody, I bought my sister recently, not for Christmas, so I can say it because she's no surprise. I didn't get her anything for Christmas. How dare you? When I saw, I was in Arkansas, and I was at the Bill Clinton President Library, and they had one of these Bill Clinton bobbleheads. My sister loves Bill Clinton. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But she does. She loves Bill Clinton. And they had a Bill Clinton bobblehead. I got to tell you, I had such a great time buying that for her, thinking about her reaction, putting it in the mail. I couldn't wait to get a call from her. And when I got the call, I was happy that she liked it as well as I thought she would. I was not disappointed. I guess that's what I was trying to say. I was not disappointed. She loved it, and she thought it was super fun. And it just made buying her a gift, it made it amazing. It made it fun. It made it wonderful. It made gift giving to her, it made it worth it. And so for those who are out shopping for other people, make sure, my advice from me, you don't have to take my advice, but trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. Have fun with it. The gift giving should be it should be fun. It should be a joy. And I know some of you are like, it's not all that fun. I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses, and my kids want this and the kids want that, and I can't afford this and I can't afford that. And I appreciate that. Those are real situations, real challenges, real problems. I get it. I'm just saying, with peace and love, if I don't feel good about buying you the gift, I'm not going to buy you the gift. And so that leads me to the kids. Put the kids closer to the radio. And you should have the app at this point, by the way. So if you don't have the app, what are you doing with your life? Go to your app store on your phone, iOS or Android, and you can download the app, IBGR Radio app. And you can listen to me in your pocket, which is how you should be listening to me, because you should be out actively on your feet doing whatever it is, mowing the lawn, shoveling the yard, running down the street, going for a walk, working in the factory, whatever it is you're doing. You should be doing something physical when you listen to the radio. Don't just sit and listen to the radio. Nobody just sits around the radio. That's why we have radios in our pocket, i.e. through the phone, through the IBGR app. Go there and get that. So bring your kids close to the phone. Let them hear this. And here's the thing, for all the children out there who hope and pray that they're going to get presents, They're hoping and praying they're going to get something good from Santa or from mom or from dad or from their girlfriend or from their boyfriend. Here's the tip. I'm going to give you a tip that's going to save you a lot of headache in your whole life. Here it is. You ready? You ready? Everybody ready? They're listening? Be appreciative. Say thank you. Throw in a couple of oohs and ahs and leave out the I didn't want this. This isn't the color I wanted. That's not the size I wanted. That's not the brand I wanted. If you do that, trust me when I say, if you complain, you are going to be a challenging person to buy from. And do you know what challenging people to buy from get? Nothing or very little. Sometimes I know a lot of people who just resort to gift cards. Can you imagine? I'm just going to buy you a gift card. I'm just going to get you a gift card. I like gift card giving. I think gift card giving is a great idea. As a matter of fact, I have a whole marketing strategy based on gift cards because I know so many people get gift cards. And so I'll say, listen, I'll start my marketing strategy right now. If you got a gift card for Christmas, that's fantastic. You know what you should do? Run on over to Amazon and buy a book from Ralph Peterson. Just buy one of my... So there's a whole marketing strategy I can run into when it comes to gift cards. I like what you get in gift cards. That's a fantastic idea. And I like gift cards as a gift. I like gift cards as a gift for like iTunes so that people can pick their own music. I like gift cards at Amazon. I like gift cards at grocery stores. You know what I don't like? I don't like a $30 Visa gift card. I don't like a $50 Visa. You know, like once you're just resorting to cash, all that means is, and again, ladies and gentlemen, all this means is you're difficult to buy for. If I'm giving you a money valued gift card with no rhyme or reason, just a $30 Visa card, it's because you are impossible to buy for. Now, my question to you is, how can we make this a little better? How can you be a little less impossible to buy for? People are out there spending all kinds of money. There's guilt shopping. Their parents are feeling guilty because their kids aren't able to go to school. Parents are feeling guilty because their kids are locked up in school, in the home all day. Parents are feeling guilty because they have to go to work and leave the kids at home. Parents are feeling guilty because they missed graduation. Parents are feeling guilty about all this COVID stuff, all these reasons to buy you gifts. Here's the tip. Be appreciative. Be a good gift receiver. If you're a good gift receiver, I myself would love to buy you a gift, but only if you're a good gift receiver. Are we all good, India? I don't know why nobody's saying we are all good. I don't like that. Are we all good? I mean, could we at least say that the levels are fine? You can hear me, please. Are we all good? I don't know if anybody's hearing me, so I just need a little feedback from the program director in India. India, program director, Bill, somebody? All right, we don't know. Nobody's answering. Fine. I'm going to assume it's going great. I'm assuming that you guys are loving it. All right, good. Thank you, India. Da, 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 da. Oh, well, now, thank you, Bill. That's nice of you to be complimentary. That's nice. We're going back in at 17:30. Thank you, Eswebo. I miss you, my friend. Semper Fi, Mr. Smith. Doing nothing. Get off your buttocks and go do something. Have fun. Go run around the yard. Chase the dog. 116, huh? Here we go. Game face, game face. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ralph Peterson Radio Show. I am still the host, the lovable, the charming Ralph Peterson. Thank you so much for joining us. Big Christmas week ahead of us this week. We still have a lot of programming on the IBGR network, so do not despair. We are here for you. We are making good content. We are talking all about business. We're talking about the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021. And I already went through this story. Let me get rid of that. If I don't clear my desk, I'll start repeating my stories. Nobody wants to hear the stories over and over again. I know. If you want to be part of the IBGR group, you certainly can be. Go to ibgr.network and you can sign up to be part of our outstanding group. By the way, I should tell you this. There's a lot of questions going on regarding social media nowadays and who owns what content, and you can have a large following on one platform and then lose it on another. And so my idea is twofold. Number one, I think if you're a business owner, you should be collecting a personal way to get a hold of your customers so that you can stay connected with them, whether that's through, I think email is probably the best, but it could be any number of ways to connect with people. A lot of people are collecting cell phones now, and they're doing a lot of text marketing, direct text marketing, which is interesting. I got to tell you, every time I get a text, you know what I do? I look at it. Every time I get an email, you know what I do? I look at it. I'm not the same way with social media. I don't always check social media. I'm not always seeing when somebody sends me a direct message on a social media because I'm not checking constantly. So IBGR is one of those places where you can come in, you can join the team, you can come part of our operation, part of our insider group, and we'll always be here for you. You'll have access to all of our experts, all of our content creators, all of our business minds, and let's grow something together. Let's build something. Let's make some money. That's all I want to talk about. Let's make it some money. Money is, by the way, money is everywhere. I know that it's hard to fathom that there's a lot of money out there, especially if you're running broke right now, or if you're furloughed, you're laid off. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine who is in the event space. He does event planning space. And of course, event planning, when there's no events going on, is not the best place to be in, but hopefully his business is going to pick up soon. But my point is that there's a lot of industries out there that I know that there's not a lot of money in, but there is still a lot of money in this country. I mean, I think the Congress is just set to vote, or they did just vote on a stimulus package that they're talking about as part of a 1.3 trillion or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot of money, And I used to always say, every time I get into an Uber car and I meet some young kid and I'd say, hey, what's your side hustle? Everybody's talking about a side hustle. And you know how many kids that don't have side hustles, that they're 18, 19, 20, 21, they're in college, they're going to college, but they're not able to go to college. So they have to do it from their dorm room where they have an apartment. And I'm like, so what's your side hustle? How are you making money? And I get blank stares. They're not doing anything to make money. Like, what? I have 18 jobs. I have 18 streams of revenue. How do you not have one? But how do you not have one? It's crazy to me. There's so many places to make money. I have a story. Let's see if I find it here in the stack. I have a great story. And the reason it's such a great story is because it so hits home with me. The unlikely material of 2020. If I were to bet, I would say that I'll tell you this because I wouldn't have guessed it. So I imagine that you are just like me, and you probably would not have guessed what is one of the most surprising pieces of material that has had the best year. 2020 has been the best year for companies that produce and use this material. Any guesses out there? It's cardboard. Cardboard. There's a story by Alexandra Besant. Alexandra Besant. Cardboard may be the most important material of 2020. And they list it for all kinds of reasons, not just obviously with Amazon's rise and everybody ordering stuff on Amazon, everything's being home delivered. But we're always talking about food. All your food cartridges, all your food and beverages are coming in cardboard. Everybody is using cardboard for everything, even cardboard cutouts. Like people are making, just think about like all the football stands and the basketball stands and the baseball stands. You see all those cardboard cutouts? That's a cardboard maker is having the best year of their entire lives because cardboard has become one of the most unlikely materials of 2020 that has totally swept its own industry. And why I say it's close to home to me is because my grandfather was the epitome of a hustler. That guy worked. He did anything and everything for money. He was always busy. I remember my mom telling me he was a workaholic, and I didn't know what a workaholic was, but whatever that was, I wanted it. I wanted to be a workaholic so bad because I wanted to be just like my grandfather. And I couldn't wait to go out. Every time I went and saw my grandfather, he was always in the garage. He was always working on something, and everything he was working on was always used to make money. He owned a canteen business. He scrapped metal. He junked cars. He did, anything and everything. And then he had a little health issue where he was having some heart issues, and his doctor suggested, he lived in New England, in Massachusetts, and the doctor suggested that he move to a warmer climate, somewhere where there's dry heat. And the reason is because it'd be better for his heart, better for his lungs, better for his health if he got some dry heat into him. So he and my grandmother packed up and drove to Arizona, of all places, moved all the way out to Arizona. And as soon as he gets out there, what does my grandfather do? Retire? Heck no. He starts a recycling business, a cardboard recycling business. And so this was 20 years ago. He was cleaning it up, both physically and literally and physically. He was cleaning up. He was getting his product for free. People were throwing cardboard away. This is prior to everybody recycling cardboard. Everybody was throwing cardboard away. So he would go around to these areas, businesses. He'd ask them to pack it on the side for them. They'd leave it out of the dumpsters for him. He'd pick up all the cardboard, tons of this stuff in his truck, bring it to a cardboard processing plant and rake in the money. And now here it is, 15, 20 years later, cardboard is the number one material of 2020. If that's not a good example of there is literally money bursting at the seams, you just got to find it. You just have to find it. That's all 2021 should be. If you had to write down a goal, take out a piece of paper, you're going to write down a goal for 2021. As a matter of fact, I have two goals. Number one, I'm going to find money. So write that down. Find money. We know it's out there. The government just made it a big announcement. It's like going fishing when the fish hatchery releases 1,000 brook trout into the brook. It doesn't take like 8 days before my friends and I find out where they put them in. You know what we do? We go about a mile downstream to where they put the 1,000 brook trout in. We go fishing, and we have a banner day, my friends. I mean, a banner day, because the fish hatchery just released all these fish, and we have what fish want. You know what fish want? They want good old-fashioned worms, and we got a pocket full of worms. And so it's the same thing with cash. The government is unloading billions of dollars into the economy. Come January, this is your goal. This is my goal. Let's go find it. Let's dangle a little bit of worms in front of it. Let's go get some value out there, provide some value to the market, to the right market, the market that's getting this influx of cash. And I guarantee you're going to be able to get your hands on a bunch of this cash. And then my second goal, and write this down as number 2, because I think this should be your second goal too. Second goal for 2021. First goal is to find as much money as possible. My second goal is keep as much as possible. It's not enough to find it. It's not enough to find it. I have a friend who found a $20 bill, couldn't wait to go spend it. That's not the right way to go. You find the money, you go earn the money, and then your job is to keep as much as possible. Don't just find it and spend it. Don't find it and give it away. I'm not asking you to open a charity. Hey, I'm going to work my tail off for money and give it to you. No. You're not running a government operation. You're running a business. Your business should be finding the money, providing value to that market so that they give you some of that money. And then your job is to hold on as much of that money as possible. Be like a jealous girlfriend with that money, a jealous boyfriend, jealous husband, jealous wife, whatever. I don't want to leave anybody out. A jealous neighbor, whoever. Guard it with your life. Don't spend it. Don't get rid of it. Find it and keep it. That's the role of or the goal for 2021. Find and keep money. Find and keep money. That's all I want to do. Find and keep money. By the way, I should also say this. When we're looking for money, keep in mind that when you're looking for money, you're trying to figure out what business you should be in. And this is a good time to have this conversation. This is a great time. As a matter of fact, well, I'm literally running out of time with this segment, so we're going to talk about it more on the other side of this. But deciding what business to be in is only one part of the decision. You have to also make sure that market you want to get into is viable. So it's important to sell a product or sell a service before you create a product or create a service. I know it might sound counterintuitive, but I'm telling you, too many people, they have this great idea. And they're like, oh my God, I have this great idea for this water bottle that lights up and you can set it down and it's going to be the greatest thing and everybody's going to want to have it. And then you go and you spend thousands of dollars and thousands of hours and all this time and energy and money on creating this bottle and you haven't sold a single one. And then you bring it to the market and you find out you're unable to sell any of them. See, you just did it backwards. That's what happens. We have a good idea. We go try to make the product. That's not the answer. You have a good idea. You flush out the idea. You go sell the idea. If anybody buys the idea, then you know it's a good market to be in. If somebody buys from you, you get into that market. Not the other way around. We'll talk more about this in uno momento. Por favor. No, not please. I'll be right back on the other side of this. All right. I'm still new at Spanish. What do you want me to do? Still new at Spanish. Everybody having a good time out there in social media land, I hope. Everybody's doing well? Living the dream? Having a great time? Ba, ba, ba. Oh my God, there was a great story I totally want to bring up. Where is that story? Aha! Shoot. I'm going to go back at 1:32:30. There's this great story out. I don't know how great it is, but it's a story about Tyson. Tyson Food had some managers that they fired because they had a betting pool. They had a betting pool about how many of their workers would get infected with COVID-19. Not good. Not good, friends. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ralph Peterson Radio Show. We are very excited to have you here. Christmas week 2020. The end is finally upon us. It's going to be so great to get out of 2020 and look forward to building and creating a fantastic 2021. I got to tell you, let me tell you this. I have come out, and I'm sure you have too. I know a lot of people who have. I know this is true for many of us. I've come out of 2021 smarter. I don't know how I came out smarter. I did. I came out more resilient, smarter, more intuitive. I have a better bond with my team. I just, staying at home with my wife, I have a better bond with my wife. It's one of those things where you got to look at the positive. You got to focus on the positive, because I'm going to tell you what, focusing on what went right this year is how we're going to make sense and make good decisions next year. It is one and the same. I have a quick story. And I got to be honest with you. When I first heard about this story, I laughed. I thought it was funny. And I thought it was funny in a kind of a ridiculous way. And the headline is Tyson Foods fires managers following allegations of a COVID-19 betting pool. And the gist of the story is some of the managers at this meatpacking plant were taking bets with each other over how many employees were going to come down with the coronavirus. And they got terminated over it. And it goes, so when I first heard the story, I thought that was ridiculous. I thought it was funny. I thought, I got to be honest with you. When I first heard the story, I was like, why would you fire managers because they were betting on the number of people that are going to get sick? Because it seems like it's no different than betting on a football game. When I first thought about it, I was like, oh, it's a big deal. It's kind of funny. I mean, people are going, if you have 1,000 employees, somebody's going to get the coronavirus, so trying to figure out how many people are going to get the coronavirus is relevant. However, I mean, not relevant, but I mean, it's a guessing game at the very least. You can play that guessing game. Betting on it is a little more sinister, but then it goes into more allegations of maybe that there were some, well, the way the article is putting it, let me say that this is not what I'm saying. This is just kind of the way the article seems to be slanting, is that it seems like the allegation is because managers were maybe trying to skew the numbers of how many people were infected by not being honest with how many people were infected, not being transparent with the other employees, not letting employees take sick time off, especially even if they exhibited symptoms. All that stuff is so kind of you can talk through all that. I got to tell you, I'm in business. We have 115 employees. I know what it's like to have a lot of people get the coronavirus. And I know what it's like to have a lot of people who have family members who get the coronavirus. And so even though they don't have the coronavirus, somebody in their household did, so they have to quarantine. And then, that 2-week quarantine turns into a 4-week quarantine, because at the end of the 2-week quarantine, the person who didn't have the coronavirus, but their family member did, now they test positive for the coronavirus. Now they have to be out for another 14 days. And listen, it's hard to run a business when you don't have any staff. And it's not about money. It's really not about money as far as having to pay the employees, because the federal government has stepped in and said it's called emergency family medical leave. And so the federal government's paying for it. So or at least in New York, that's the way it is. So let me just talk about New York State. I only know about New York State, but So it's not a financial thing. It's a business thing. It's being able to. I work in long-term care. It's about taking care of people. We can't take care of people if everybody goes out sick. And there's an area hospital around here around where I work that is even thinking about making people come in even if they do test positive for the coronavirus, because if they're not symptomatic but they did test positive for the coronavirus, and you only have, and it's a doctor and it's the only doctor, and you have a broken leg, let me ask you a question. Do you wait 14 days for the doctor to come off of quarantine, or do you go, just get in here and mask up, put your gown on, and fix my leg? I mean, the answer is, of course, you ask them to come in, especially, I mean, we're talking about, what about a heart attack? What about a necessary surgery? Do you not have that because the doctor has tested positive, even though they're asymptomatic? I mean, these are legitimate business questions, legitimate health and safety questions that don't have an easy answer. There's no clear line, physical, easy, that's the, if A, then B, then B, then C. It's not like that. Not in this world, not in the world of healthcare, and not in the world of the coronavirus. And so when I heard about these managers, I kind of felt like, I mean, managers blow off steam. Sometimes managers can be a little crass, I guess. I mean, who can't be a little crass? I mean, I know employees who are looking at each other going, I bet that girl gets the coronavirus. I wouldn't doubt it at all if she gets it. And then, somebody does get it. I'm like, I knew she would get it. If any of these guys were going to get it, she would definitely get it. I mean, do you terminate that employee for making such a statement? I mean, the answer is, of course, no. I mean, it could be just simply said in jest. It could be harmless. However, I say all that to say that that's my original reaction to it. However, I did have an employee who just passed away, and it's not yet been determined that it's directly related to the coronavirus. But I will tell you this. I had an employee who I saw on Wednesday, and he was fine. I mean, not completely fine, because he does have some underlying health issues, but he was upright. He was smiling. He was in a good mood. We chatted. We joked around. We had a good time. It was fun. It was nice seeing him. I don't see him a lot. And Wednesday night, that was Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, he got a call from the doctor saying that he had indeed tested positive for the coronavirus. And on Sunday, he died, this past Sunday. So I understand why some people may be hearing about Tyson managers having a little fun game, pool, whatever it is they were doing, betting pool or whatever, over who might get the coronavirus. And I understand how harmless it could seem, but when you lose a friend, when you lose a loved one, I don't know, it's there are some things that are okay to joke about, and there are some things that are not. And this is one of those that is not. And so I'll tell you, be fully transparent here. I when I first saw the story, I thought, what's the big deal? It's kind of funny. Actually, I was even more crass than that, because I work with a lot of staff who do a lot worse things than that. I mean, they play the game every way possible to not get their job done, to call out and still get paid, to do anything it seems that they can do to not have to do any work, and it's difficult to manage them. And so then, but you're always being asked to be the better person in management. You're always being asked to not get the attitude, to not be human, to not want to bang your head against a wall, to always be professional, to not curse, and these are all the things that I would say too that are necessary in business, but especially in the business of people management. But at the same time, it can be nerve-wracking. It can be very challenging. Managing is not an easy thing, but man, I mean, I'm heartbroken. I am legit heartbroken over this guy. He, very young guy. Like I said, it hasn't been determined as far as I know that it literally was the coronavirus that killed him. But I'm telling you, on Wednesday morning, he was fine. He was good. He was in a good mood. He was happy. He was upright. He was serving food. He was, works in a nursing home with me, and comes out down with the coronavirus on Wednesday night, gets tested positive. We test twice a week now in long-term care. So we're getting tested all the time, and he just gets a call, and Sunday he passed away. So I don't know. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe a little little tip: don't make fun, don't make bets. Be a little more sensitive than that. Have a little more understanding that a lot of people are going through some very terrible, tough times, and don't have to add to it. So let me this is a Christmas show. Bringing down a Christmas show. No, it's just one of those stories that I saw and I thought was really funny and stupid at the same time. And then I had to run in with the coronavirus. And all right, so you got it. It just boy, when it hits home, right? So I hope and pray that all of you out there are safe and healthy and protect yourself as much as possible, because life is a precious thing, my friends. Life is a precious thing. Precious thing. When we get back, we're going to come up on a break here in a quick second. But when we come back, I really want to talk about what I'm doing this year, what I'm going to be looking for in 2021 as far as an operational point of view, how I'm going to be developing my strategy. I got a couple of great stories here where there's this woman named Annie Duke, who is a world-class poker player, and she's turned into a organizational strategy consultant. And what she says is don't listen to your gut. So she's talking about in poker. And in poker, I've lost a lot of money at poker. I almost said I played a lot of poker. I just lost a lot. I was more like a poker money donator more than a player. But she's like, don't listen to your gut when you're playing poker, and you shouldn't listen to your gut when you're in business. Business strategies should be based on a system. You should be looking at things. You should be testing waters. You should be looking at markets. You should be studying the tea leaves. You should be doing a little deep dive at your own numbers from last year. I just got my income statement and my balance sheet, and then after I got done crying for a little bit, I you know what it is. And when you look at your income statement, I'm sure you do it when you look at your taxes or any kind of metrics that you're measuring your cash flow. You just, and maybe it's just me, but I look at all the money I've wasted. I have wasted so much money this year. And you know what it is that I was in panic mode for most of the year, just trying to figure out how to stay afloat, how to keep my business. And so India and I, my assistant, we were just throwing money at everything, going, oh, maybe this is the best place to go, or maybe we can do this for work, or maybe we can do that for work. And oh man, we spent a lot of money. But when we come back on the other side of this little break here, we will talk all about how to set up 2021 so that you have the best 2021 ever, because that's what we want. We all need the best 2021 ever. All right, last segment of the day. Last segment of the day is coming up. We're live everywhere. Mr. Bill says we're all good still. Everybody in social land is doing well. All right, rock and roll. What am I going back? Anybody know? 147.30. What am I at? 146? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ralph Peterson Radio Show. The final hour before the big day being Christmas 2020. Then we're 7 days away from a happy new year and a brand new year. So the big question on everybody's mind is, what is 2021 going to look like? What is it going to, when you're sitting in your chair and it's December 22nd, 2021, what has happened? What has gone on? What have you done? What have you created? What have you produced? Who have you served? How much have you made? A lot of people, and I'm guilty as this as much as anybody else, a lot of us, we leave this up to chance. We say, gosh, I hope 2021 is better. Oh, this year was not good. I hope next year is better. I can't wait for next year. I just hope it's better. I hope next year is going to be better. Let me tell you about next year. I'm going to do a little forecasting for you for 2021. Here you go. You ready for this? There is going to be some unbelievable ups and some unbelievable downs. You're going to have some moments in next year in 2021 that are going to be so fantastic. You're not going to believe it. You're just going to have to pinch yourself. They're so great. There are going to be moments in 2021 that are going to remind you of 2020. And you're going to be easily able to throw your hands in the air going, oh my God, oh, is it ever going to stop? Or is this always going to be this way? Oh my God, what happened to who, so-and-so, so and such? That's going to happen in 2021. You're going to get both sides. There's going to be high highs and there's going to be low lows, just like there were this year. Here's the thing to think about 2021, though. Here's the thing to think about it. Those of us who are in business, if you're in business, this is what you're listening to this radio program for. It's why you're logged on to the IBGR network. It's why you downloaded the app. You better have downloaded the app. I don't know what you're doing with your life if you haven't. Here's the reason that you're doing all this is because entrepreneurs, we want to do one thing more than anything. That is, we want to be in control of our own lives. We want to be in control of our own destinies. People don't tell me how to spend my day. I decide how I'm going to spend my day. It's my business. It's my business. This is what I'm doing. It's my life, my business. I'm creating. I'm selling. The market tells me if I'm on the right track or if I'm not on the right track, and then I make adjustments from there. But it is mine. It is for me, by me, through me. And so I have the choice. For the most part, and I mean, there are some people, sure, you can say, there's tragedy strikes us all and not everybody has the same choices. Fine. You can go ahead and jump on that bandwagon. I wouldn't suggest it. Even though it's true, that's a bandwagon that's not helpful. Don't jump on it. Here's the truth. For most of us, 90% of us, those of us who are in business who want to be in business, we make the decision. So how is 2021 going to be for your business? I'll tell you how 2021 is going to be for my business. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We created an online university last year in 2019, and then we expanded it in 2020. We added a new course on how to clean nursing homes. So I have a whole online course called the Standard Health and Rehab. And the Standard Health and Rehab is this whole platform on how to step by step, how to break down job routines, how to clean nursing homes. We're going to expand on that. We're making a whole dietary section so you can go to the Standard Health and Rehab and learn how to run a dietary department. We're bringing that into activities. We're making it into the business office, payroll, HR, quality awards. We are using this platform that we created, and we're going to make it into something that is amazing and helpful and really adds true value to organizations in long-term care. We are going to make it so that we give people resources that they have otherwise always been tough to find because they're scattered all over the place. We're also writing a couple new books. We have a new book that we want to put out in April. We have another book we want to have come out in October. Now, listen, these books aren't written. Those programs aren't done yet. All of this is in my head. All of this is Ralph Peterson saying to you, because I've already said it to me. 2021 is going to be a year of growth for us. We are going to grow like crazy because we're going to build a platform that we already know is selling. When we came up with the idea of the Standard Health and Rehab, we sold it. We sold it before we made it. We sold it. We talked to a bunch of people and said, we have this idea about this online university that'll really help, especially in long-term care, because although consultants are, I'll tell you, consultants are the backbone of healthcare. Consultants are the backbone of a lot of industries. Industry-specific consultants really are helpful. Well, in long-term care with the coronavirus and the stopping of visits and unnecessary travel and all this between homes, it made it very difficult for consultants to continue with their business because people don't want you to go into their nursing homes, because they're trying to restrict access to nursing homes, because they don't want people to go, certainly don't want someone like me going from one nursing home to another nursing home to another nursing home to another nursing home. And so I was like, all right, how can we solve this problem? What if I took my consultancy and put it online? What if I made it available online so that I can do video calls, I can do phone calls, I can still do this one-on-one training with administrators and supplement that with my whole program that they can download, they can create their own, they can watch videos. I just solved the problem. So I think that is going to be a big move ahead because I've already sold it and started creating it. And I know that it's going to work for me because I've already done the research. There's this woman I talked about at the beginning or the end of the last segment named Annie Duke, a world-class poker player turned strategist. And she makes a great point in that she says that most people make strategic decisions based on their gut. Their gut tells them. I know a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the stories, and the research shows that your brain is attached to your gut, and your gut could also be called your second brain, and that there's real intuition, and that really, and I know I've read the book Gift of Fear, and so I know that there is a thing where you should listen to the little triggers and the biological triggers that your body gives you, and your body tells you to be afraid. You should be afraid, right? Like that's proven too. I know that's a great book, Gift of Fear, by the way. That's not a book that I wrote. I can't remember the name of the author, but if you're thinking of a birthday or a Christmas present for someone, especially a woman in your life, The Gift of Fear is one of those I think is super helpful, if not a little scary. It's definitely a helpful book that you want all the women in your life to read, because the whole message is how to listen to your body. How to listen to the cues that your body's giving you about an unsafe environment. Your body gives you those cues. And so, all right. So there's something to that. I know that there's something to intuition, but Annie Duke says it best. She says, stop trusting your gut, period, blank, end of story. People who trust their gut in business to make business decisions instead of systematically having a strategic plan. How do you decide what business that you're going in? How do you test a business? How do you test a market? There's got to be a way that you can look at a market, evaluate the market, understand the growth potential in the market. There is some guesswork, no doubt about it. You have to be able to make some guesswork, but you should be making this guesswork off of good, hard data, not just off your gut's intuition. There's another thing, because she gives all kinds of points in here in this article. This article is by Jeff. My last name is Peterson. All right. So it's easy. So I just wish everybody's last name was as easy as mine. Okay. So I'm going to give it a try. Jeff Garigliano. 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 I hope that's how you say it. Anyway, he wrote a great article on thought leaders. It's his spotlight on thought leaders, and Stop Trusting Your Gut is about Annie Duke, this world-class poker player. And it's a great article. If you have time, I do suggest you read the whole thing. But there's one part that I'm going to read that I wanted to share with you. And it's all about one of the big mistakes that I think I have fallen a trap into is I try to get too many people involved in my business strategy. When you say, hey, Ralph, how are you going to build how are you going to develop your strategy? I'm like, well, I'm thinking about getting a bunch of coworkers all in the room, everybody with different job routines. This happens in long-term care a lot because they're like, let's get a nurse in here. Let's get a housekeeper in here. Let's get the CEO in here, the administrator, the DON, a nurse manager, and the maintenance guy. And we're going to build a strategy for next year. Okay. So, and the idea is the more diverse the group, the better the outcome, because you'll get different voices and different opinions and different points of view. And all that might be all well and good. But Annie says this. She says that a lot of people have faith in group decisions or group discussions, thinking that if you bring a group of people together, those people will tell you their point of view in an honest way. That's the key. You think that people brought together in a room, they're all going to be open and honest with you, and you're going to get this inflow of all this information. She says, but there's substantial research showing that isn't what happens when groups come together to discuss anything. Instead, anyone who isn't once a consensus starts to form, if somebody brings something up and one other person goes, you know what, that sounds good, everybody will go along with it. It becomes like a snowball. She uses the turn of phrase, it's like a snowball that turns into an avalanche of consensus. And at that point, people are no longer offering up their true perspective. They are simply going along with the consensus. And so I have my wife, I have my assistant, I have my ops director, and they all listen to me. No, and we don't put a lot of people in the group, and you got to be insistent that people have to be honest. Don't just give me back what I'm giving you. Be honest with what you want to do or what your opinion is, so that we can actually make a good meeting out of this and make a good strategy, have a good effort, have a good 2021. Good news for you. I'm right out of time here, but the good news for you is we still have another Tuesday. We have another Tuesday before 2021, so you will hear or see me again next week, and I am so looking forward to it. And thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I really do sincerely hope that you take the time to not only have a good Christmas, but I hope that you have a good gift buying and good gift giving experience, because in my opinion, there's nothing worse than having a poor gift giving experience. Take care. Merry Christmas. All right, my friends, that is it. I am out of here. Is it? Thanks for your help. Just writing to the program director. Thank you, India, for your help. I'll actually give you a call in just a minute so we can talk about the show. That's what India and I do every time we get on the phone. You go, how did it go? She'll say, it went well. It was fun. I'll say, thanks. I had fun. And then we'll talk about strategies for next week's show and what we're doing tomorrow and today. And that's the life. That's the life. Thank you guys so much. Talk soon.